Hello and welcome to this edition of FYI Weekly, your official source for the latest news and information from the city of Greensboro. The Greensboro Parks and Recreation Department has released a draft of Plan to Play, the department's comprehensive master plan for community recreation for the next 20 years. Residents are invited to review the plan and share comments between now and January 31st. Comments will also be accepted via email. The City Council will consider adopting the plan in February. For the last year, Parks and Recreation planning staff have worked alongside the consulting group to analyze the department's existing conditions, survey residents and park users, and review trends to map a plan for the city's recreational needs. The recommendations within the Plan to Play master plan prioritize how the city will maintain and improve existing parks and facilities, invest and plan for future parks and facilities, expand programs, and allocate funding and other resources to meet current and future community needs. The recommendations reflect the values and expectations of more than 7,000 Greensboro residents and park users who provided input about our park and recreation system and translate those into action items that ensure effective and efficient investment of city resources. For more information or to download the plan draft, visit the city's website. The Greensboro Department of Transportation is asking residents to identify their top transportation safety concerns as part of Vision Zero Greensboro. This is an initiative to reduce the number of traffic deaths and severe injuries to zero. Residents can access and complete the survey on the website for Vision Zero Greensboro until Friday, February 1st. Work groups comprised of residents identified emphasis areas in 2018. Emphasis Area 1 is speed and driver awareness, identifying speeding as the leading issue in Greensboro. This area also focuses on keeping drivers alert, which includes driving under the influence and distracted driving. Emphasis Area 2 is running off the road and protecting all users. Analysis shows more than half of the fatal crashes in Greensboro were the result of drivers running off the road or crossing the center line. Finally, Emphasis Area 3 is protecting vulnerable users such as pedestrians, bicyclists, and people riding motorcycles. For more information about the Vision Zero project, visit the city's website. The Renaissance Community Co-op will be closing its doors after 2 years of being the anchor of the Renaissance Shopping Center on Phillips Avenue. The grocery store provided a food desert solution, giving the East Greensboro community access to fresh fruits and vegetables, making the closing of the Renaissance Co-op a tremendous loss. It's important to keep the co-op's legacy alive. The need for access to healthy food options is paramount for all Greensboro residents. The efforts of the co-op serve as an example of community collaboration to improve the quality of life of its residents. City staff is communicating with Self-Help, the owners of the shopping center. The group has expressed a continued interest in the center and helping it become a hub for food, medical services, banking, and more. In an effort to help each of us improve our quality of life, the city has partnered with Cone Health for a series of brief and informative videos designed to inspire you to make better choices when it comes to healthy living. Let's check in with our friends at Cone Health for today's news for your health.
Probably 1 in 3 Americans, or 70 million people, has hypertension, and up to 50% of those patients are either not treated or undertreated. 1 in 5 may not even know they have the diagnosis. I'm Dr. Jay Cochrane. I'm a cardiologist. I'm the chief of the Cone Health Cardiovascular Service Line and Cone Health Medical Group Heart Care. Hypertension really is known as the silent killer, and it's because it doesn't cause a lot of symptoms. You really have to get a blood pressure check. The nice thing about that is getting a blood pressure check and getting screened for hypertension is probably one of the easiest things we do. I mean, you can get a blood pressure checked at any primary care office, at any appointment with just about any provider, at the community health fair. So what is a normal blood pressure? Well, typically, we treat people for hypertension when the blood pressure is 140/90. Although it's a little bit different, what we consider normal, based on your age and based on whether you have other conditions such as diabetes. we would begin to treat blood pressure at that level, 140/90 typically. What is normal might be more like 120/80. And in between is what we call prehypertension, where we begin to pay attention to the risk factors. Patients don't know that they have hypertension because, one, they may not see a doctor, or two, they may have been told they had high blood pressure at some point in time, but they really didn't pay much attention to it. We see those patients later on when they present with some of the problems that occur with untreated hypertension. We'd like to get to them long before that point. The problems they present with might be heart failure, kidney failure, or even strokes. And all of that is potentially treatable, preventable if they get diagnosis and treatment early. So the question is, how can we prevent or treat hypertension? At times, your physician may diagnose you with hypertension, and you may need medical management from the beginning. But in all situations, your provider should also be suggesting therapeutic lifestyle changes, or what I like to call TLC. I think the bottom line is that we need to reduce our salt intake, we need to reduce our sugar intake, we should be going for more complex carbohydrates, and for trying to avoid the foods that turn quickly into sugars. And I often tell people that's the white breads and the white rices and the white potatoes. And what's really, really important about weight loss and hypertension is that it doesn't take a lot, that we can see reduction in blood pressure from 5 to 10 pounds. And sometimes the reward for losing weight is you actually get to come down or even off of your medications. We should limit our alcohol intake. There's great discussion about the potential merits of something like red wine. The bottom line is that too much daily alcohol consumption is unhealthy for a number of reasons, and one of those is it can lead to difficult to control hypertension. It is a problem. It is a difficult addiction for a lot of people, and it is something that people should concentrate on and try to find help. Talk with your doctor about the best methods, the best resources for stopping smoking. Another therapeutic lifestyle change that's important and that's recommended for blood pressure control is to increase your activity level. And that's critical for so many different health problems. We don't exercise enough as a country. It's estimated that only about or less than 25% of adults get the recommended amount of physical exercise on a weekly basis. We should get about 150 minutes a week of a moderate level of exercise. And a moderate level of exercise is something that makes you a little flushed or a little short of breath, but not something that is so physically exerting that A, you're not enjoying it, or B, you can't do it the next day. For instance, I tell patients if you're walking with somebody, you should be walking at a brisk enough pace that you wouldn't have enough breath to sing, but you would be able to carry on a conversation. This is Dr. Jake Hochrein. Thank you for letting me join you today. I hope this information was helpful. Cone Health is committed to your wellness. For more information, please go to conehealth.com/heart.
Future architects and civil engineers could emerge from the elite crowd of a popular annual competition. We'll have that story and more news coming up after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back to FYI Weekly. In celebration of National Engineers Week coming up next month, residents from Greensboro and 4 other cities in the Triad will compete to see who can create the most efficient bridge constructed with popsicle sticks. Greensboro Parks and Recreation will provide free supplies to kids and adults who want to compete. Registration and supplies will be available at any Greensboro Recreation Center from January 28th to February 6th. Parks and Recreation Departments in Greensboro, High Point, Winston-Salem, Kernersville, and Lexington will host local competitions from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Saturday, February 9th. Greensboro's competition will be held at Griffin Recreation Center located at 5301 Hilltop Road. The winners from each city competition will advance to the regional competition on February 23rd at Deep River Recreation Center in High Point. Participants will compete as individuals in 4 age groups from 8 to adult. Bridges will be judged based on how much weight they will support, divided by the total mass of the structures. The top 3 most efficient bridges in each of the youth categories and the first place in the adult category will advance to the regional competition. There will also be a prize for the most creative design. Kitchen Concepts GSO, an incubator program to grow prepared foods by local entrepreneurs, is accepting applications for its 6-week training program. Scholarships are available based on income. This is a partnership of the Greensboro Farmers Curb Market, Out of the Garden Project, and the Guilford County Cooperative Extension. This collaboration with the City of Greensboro is made possible through a USDA Local Food Promotions Grant. The program is seeking applicants who will bring diversity of food offerings, ethnic culinary products, and prepared foods that can help support underserved communities and create new economic opportunities within the City of Greensboro. Kitchen Connects GSO brings together Greensboro's first shared kitchen with food safety and small business training classes to create a unique local food incubator program. The goal is to provide opportunities for new value-added product startups to begin on their expansion and increase the public's awareness of locally sourced and produced foods. Participants will receive reduced-cost training in Safe Plate, a food safety and handling certification program, and basic small business classes, marketing, and merchandising. Applications are available online and due by March 1st. The Greensboro History Museum has been commemorating World War I with a special exhibit entitled Lest We Forget World War I Through the Eyes of 9. The exhibit tells how our city experienced and continues to remember the Great War through the stories of 9 Greensboro residents of varying backgrounds and is on display until August 2019. To commemorate the 100th anniversary of the start of the Paris peace talks that followed the World War I armistice, the Greensboro History Museum hosted a special panel discussion, Peace Building Post-World War I. The discussion is available on the museum's new podcast series. Historians from 3 local colleges and universities discuss global and local expectations for peace after the war. Where did the treaty discussions fail? Where did they succeed? And how do they continue to influence the ways we think about war and peace today? The program is made possible by a grant from the Crescent Rotary Club of Greensboro. The Greensboro History Museum is located downtown at 130 Summit Avenue. For more information about this and other programs, visit the museum's website. In an effort to spotlight and celebrate local artists, business owners, community builders, and essentially the next generation of leaders, the city is proud to partner with Action Greensboro to introduce our Made in Greensboro series. This day, we place the spotlight on Christina Brown, the brainchild behind Moonbird Pottery. Christina Brown has always been interested in art. She took pottery classes when she was younger, then started making beaded jewelry and got interested in raku beads. She also sold pottery, jewelry, and more at Just Be, a quirky boutique in downtown Greensboro, before selling the shop after 6 years. That's when Christina returned to UNC Greensboro to pursue her passion for pottery. Now, Christina focuses solely on pottery. In November 2016, she opened a brick-and-mortar shop, Moonbird Pottery, on Spring Garden Street, right next to Spring Garden Bakery, a shop she and her husband Tim had previously owned. You can find Christina's pieces not only at her shop on Spring Garden, but in galleries throughout the U.S. West Elm Furniture has contacted Christina to be a local artist at its Greensboro location in the Friendly Shopping Center. Of course, you can also purchase Moonbird Pottery on its online shop. Orders are currently shipping out across the country. Christina says Greensboro really supports the arts and local artists. She loves the process of creating art and being connected with people. In her words, that's what art is all about. To learn more about Made in Greensboro or to see more images taken by photographers Jerry Walford and Scott Mothersbaugh, visit the Action Greensboro website at madeingso.com. The City of Greensboro is committed to assisting residents with successfully restoring their rights after they have paid their debt to society. Coming up after the break, we'll have an update on Thrive GSO and the progress being made on that front. Stay with us. Welcome back to FYI Weekly. Creating a path to help those with criminal convictions find their way back into society is the goal of many agencies partnering with the city to make restoration of rights a reality. Joining me now to tell us about Thrive GSO and how it's making a difference is Jody Stanley. She is the Education and Outreach Coordinator with the city's Human Relations Department. Hello, Jody. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for letting me come.
Absolutely. Always good to see you.
You too.
Give us an overview of Thrive GSO for those who are not familiar, and how long has it been available?
Thrive GSO started as a partnership, essentially between some local grassroots advocates, the city attorney's office, of all things in human relations. Started around 2017, and the goal of the program, in essence, it's really a hub. It's a communications hub. It's a convening hub. And our desire is to make sure that people in the city of Greensboro are connected as far as reentry is concerned.
Okay.
So we don't provide the services, but we do connect the people that do.
Okay. And share some examples, since you've started Thrive GSO, of what you've accomplished so far.
Some of the most memorable programs for me were we did a panel. We do conduct programs throughout the year. And one of our programs was on employment and education, because of course the two are very close, they're very connected. And our panelists were all people with criminal records who were then successful and either supporting those who are navigating reentry or really successful in their work and just happen to have a criminal record. And it was really exciting. We probably had close to 100 people in the space, very inspiring. I think what's really important is to hear from those directly impacted. The other program that comes to mind is we did a big employment fair out at the Sportsplex, which was really exciting. We had several hundred people come out, and they were all able to take part in the reentry resource providers and talk to employers. And of course the employers were invited because they are open to hiring people with criminal records. So that was really exciting as well.
And that makes that job fair very unique in and of itself.
Absolutely.
Now, what is in store for Thrive GSO this calendar year?
Some of the initiatives we have 3 focus areas, and what we're focusing on this year are populations. Our first is women. What we try to do, instead of hosting just a general conversational program, we're actually hosting trainings. So our first will be March 6th, and it's going to focus on women navigating reentry, because women face some really unique challenges. During incarceration and after. Women often have children. They want to be reunited with their children. So there are some really unique things that we need to face as far as women, and training our reentry resource providers to be able to provide the best services to women is really key for us. The second population that we want to reach are high school and college students. So we're offering a program called Thrive EDU. So our program in June, our training in June, is going to focus on that. And we're going to talk about the experiences of kids, right? So I talk to my kids about the consequences of their decisions. It's important that we talk to high school and college students about the consequences of having a criminal record. So if you don't have one, don't get one. If you do have one, here's how to navigate the system. Or, these are the people that are going to be the future leaders. So if you find a way within your career to help make the system better for people navigating reentry, maybe you can be one of those as part of the solution.
Absolutely. And Thrive GSO, from what you're describing, sounds like it's taking the stigma out of having had some sort of criminal run-in in your past, and not allowing that to define people and keep them from learning from the past experience and being able to move forward and do something better with their lives.
Absolutely. According to FBI statistics, 1 out of every 3 people that live in the United States have a criminal record of sorts. Wow. So that's a significant number. So if it's not you, it's someone you know. And we feel like it's important to treat everyone, if you served your sentence, you should be welcomed back into society in a very fulfilling way.
Sure. Now, what do you need for Thrive GSO to continue to be successful?
We need support, for sure. We have anywhere from just community advocates, grassroots advocates. We have businesses that come to our meetings and trainings. We have elected officials. We have reentry service providers. Everyone is welcome to the table. Everyone can contribute, and that's our message to everyone in the city of Greensboro, is that everyone can contribute. So we really do need support, and there are a couple of different ways that you can support us. And that is, for example, if you're a housing service provider, that is probably our biggest challenge right now. So if you have a home that you're renting out and you'd be willing to rent to someone with a criminal record, please give our office a call. We would love to have you on our information list. We can circulate data, we can circulate meeting reminders and meeting invitations, and we'll definitely get you connected to possible tenants. But really, anyone that is interested in coming to any of our meetings or our trainings, probably the best way you can get started is to call our office and just get onto our distribution list.
Okay, well, give us that number.
Yeah,
I know folks are
absolutely.
listening and they'll be eager to want to be part of this great program.
Sure.
How can they reach you?
They can call our office, Human Relations, at 336-373-2038.
Okay, well, thank you, Jody, for stopping by to remind us
absolutely.
about this great work that you're doing and that's coming out of Thrive GSO. I know a lot of people are taking advantage of it. Now there may be newcomers to our community who are just learning about it, so I see this as a growing component and a great need for our community.
Thank you.
Come back and keep us posted.
I will. Thanks,
Thank you.
Carla.
Stay tuned for a little known fact about Greensboro as we tell you something about the city. That's coming up after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back. One way to stay informed about what's happening in the city is by attending or tuning in to city council meetings. The Greensboro City Council meetings are open to the public, but if you cannot attend, we broadcast the meetings live right here on GTN, and we also stream the meetings live on the city's website. Council meetings take place at 5:30 p.m. on the first and third Tuesdays of the month on Level 2 of the Melvin Municipal Office Building located at 300 West Washington Street. The first meeting of the month includes public comments and special presentations. Meetings on the third Tuesday of the month focus on public hearings and city business. The fourth Tuesday is reserved for meetings as needed. To review the council meeting schedule and agendas, please visit the city's website. Here's an opportunity to learn a little something about the city. The Parks and Recreation Department will host a grand opening celebration for the Barber Park Event Center and Ruth Wicker Tribute to Women. The event is scheduled on Friday, January 25th from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. at 1502 Barber Park Drive. The community is invited to tour the exhibit and event center after the ribbon cutting takes place at 4:30 p.m. Light refreshments will be served. The Ruth Wicker Tribute to Women will be the first ever exhibition of its kind in North Carolina that is dedicated to highlighting the achievements and contributions of women who influenced, transformed, and shaped the rich history of our city. The women featured in the interactive exhibit were chosen by the community. The exhibit is located within the new Barber Park Event Center, an upscale venue available to rent for weddings, corporate meetings, and other events. The project was funded by the estate of Ruth Wicker in addition to bond dollars earmarked for parks and recreation. Coming up after the break, we'll showcase our department spotlight, but first, prepare to mark your calendar for all the great events happening this week on the town.
Hey, this is Jody. The weather forecast may be calling for low temperatures, but here are a few ways to heat up your social calendar this weekend. Kick off your weekend early by attending the 17th annual Greensboro Fringe Festival, already underway. The Fringe Festival, which began in 2003 as a way for independent theater producers to combine resources and reach broader audiences, has grown and become more diverse. All of the pieces featured at the festival are premieres performed by local talent who do not have a regular venue to showcase their art. The festival runs through February 4th. For more details on the Fringe Festival and performances, go to greensborofringefestival.org. On Saturday, come to the History Museum for the Lunar New Year from 1 to 4 p.m. Celebrate the heritage traditions of our city's East and Southeast Asian communities and welcome the Year of the Pig. Enjoy snacks, performances, demonstrations, and crafts. And don't miss a chance to visit the exhibition Second Generation Asian American before it closes on February 3rd. For more information, visit greensborohistory.org. If you're looking to laugh, head to the Carolina Theater on Sunday at 7 p.m. for the Ladies' Night Comedy Show, a night of comedy with some of social media's funniest comedians. You may have seen them on the hit show Wild 'N Out, or just laugh with them daily as you scroll through your timeline. Grab a date, tell a friend, and come enjoy a night of entertainment. Featuring B. Simone, Watch Jazzy, Erica Duchess, Toya Trunup, and Pretty V, and hosted by Darren Brand. For tickets or general information, go to carolinatheater.com. Also on Sunday, the Triad Stage will begin its run on White Lightning by Elizabeth Gregory Wilder. Race down red dirt roads through an Alabama night of fast cars and moonshine. A young veteran with a checkered past and a '39 Ford makes a name for himself outrunning the law. But love and NASCAR show him another road. Strap in, put the pedal to the metal, and head straight into adventure and romance. The show begins at 7:30 p.m. and runs through February 17th. Be sure to get your tickets at triadstage.org. Keep watching FYI Weekly right here on GTN to find out more about events happening on the town.
Welcome back. The City of Greensboro has 23 departments and several divisions committed to serving you, our residents and visitors. Let's go behind the scenes in our department spotlight. Today, we place the spotlight on the Planning Department. The Planning Department's latest Growth and Development Trends Report highlights some of the most important data and trends shaping Greensboro. A few examples include the unemployment rate continues to decrease. Recent monthly rates are some of the lowest the city has reported since the year 2000. From an earnings perspective, average annual wages and median earnings have increased. Population growth as well as annexation and building activity continue to increase as well. Sue Schwartz, the city's planning director, says Greensboro continues to grow at a steady pace, and we are hopeful this trend will continue. The Trends Report and more information about Planet GSO is available on the city's website. Straight ahead, on the other side of the break, is this week's Way to Go GSO Shoutout. Stay with us. As we draw to a close, we always want to end on a positive note with our Way to Go GSO Shoutout. This week's shoutout goes to the officers promoted at the Greensboro Police Department. 9 police officers advanced in rank and were recognized during a ceremony that took place in the City Council chambers at City Hall. The police department promoted 4 corporals to the rank of sergeant and 5 officers to the rank of corporal. Congratulations to Sergeants Jeffrey Carter, Bradley Denny, Sheila Lennox Spalding, and Marcus McFadder. We also want to congratulate Corporals Adrian Dellinger, Justin Douglas, Sadie Mae McDonald, Robert Mensel, and Christopher Zimmer. We want to thank all of our officers for their service and commitment to keeping our city safe. That concludes this edition of FYI Weekly, but you can easily stay connected to the latest city news by linking to us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram. Be sure to download our weekly podcast, Talk City Greensboro. For all of us here at the City of Greensboro, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.